What's up, guys? It is the Bad Wolf. Welcome to Bad Wolf After Hours or Bad Wolf After Dark. Let's see how many people join us tonight on this most auspicious occasion. I'm still on my vacation mode. We shut down production and we just got done filming the Right to Travel. So just kind of hanging out, seeing what's going on before, maybe an hour or two before I go to sleep. See what we got going on here. All right, we got some people joining in. Don't mind me, I'm tired. I've been working on a lot of videos. I've been working on the seminars. Normal life stuff, working on the taxes for my house. Learning the love language with my lady. Yeah, working on some home projects. And so once again, this is just Bad Wolf After Dark in the den. And, I just felt like maybe I should jump out there. It's been a while since we did a live. So we're just doing something a little unconventional, just chilling, keeping it real as always. And a lot of you guys out there, males and females, everybody, good people, I've been telling you guys have enjoyed the commentary section. The comment section's opened up a little bit. So far, it's been very positive. We have not had too many problems with bots or haters or AI and whatever else. So I will continue to have that open. Not on every video because a lot of people expect me to respond. I just can't get to every video, everything on there, and I want to make sure that that's not contaminated with a lot of BS. We've definitely had a lot of victories, more than I've made mention of. It's to the point where it's pretty wild. We've had some victories, but then we've had some overstepping with some of the authorities. So now we have to learn how to escalate things. Once again, as I've always said, as we move, they move. All they're doing is building a better wolf, which means they're helping to build a better community because can't stop, won't stop. So as they knock us down and overstep, then we step up. So let's take a look at some of the comments. I really don't have anything planned, guys. I was just kind of relaxing. I'll be back off of my vacation in 2 weeks. We already have people signing up for those. A lot of people are excited for the seminars. On the public side, we've done some in the private. We're going to have some for pay and obviously some for free. So thank you guys for helping me to get this far. We're at 81,000 people, and for the next 2-3 years, we should be hitting 100,000, in which case, as I promised, I will put the plaque right up there, and that will be dedicated to you guys for helping to make it possible. So thank you. So let's see here. I guess we can throw on one of the. So yeah, we've had like 5 million views, guys. That's insane. That's insane. 5 million views on the materials and everything else. We're at 81,000 subscribers. And then we've got like another 20 or 30 that have not subscribed, but they just watch. So that's probably the municipalities and, departments and Cornell and all the rest of them. But it's all good. So let's see what we got going on in the comment section. I'll try to jump on some of those things. You guys know I don't really do a whole lot of lives. I preach to you guys about living and being in the private, and believe it or not, I've probably talked to more of you guys than a good chunk of my family, unfortunately, because a lot of them are just not trying to hear this. But it's not for everybody, So, but let's see here. What's going on, Dion? Appreciate you out there. Say the Weavers, I love right back at you. John, what's going on? What's up with it? Oh man, just I got some rest over my vacation, and then some things were like wild, and I'm glad I did have off. Because I'll be honest, like sometimes, man, personal life really makes you want to lose your shit. Because you're always being tested. That's one thing about life. And then just watching how like the elite and the cabal out there are brainwashing people. So you end up fighting people who think that they have their shit together and they really don't, or people with mental health issues doing videos and leading people astray. And it just gets to me after a while, like all of the lies and the corruption, and all they're trying to do is take the United States of America, or we Americans, down in a silent, war. So it's just crazy. Sometimes I let it get to me, and I know I really shouldn't. And then even people close to me, they don't sometimes realize, their influence in my life, or that sometimes the things that people say to you, they don't realize, like, just it puts you in a weird position. What the heck is that? I live on the edge of like a field, so I see all kind of crazy things running through the field on my camera sometimes, and I don't know, be weird. All right. So Ahmed says, if I become a non-citizen national and move overseas, does that get rid of reporting taxes in the foreign bank? No. See, first of all, Ahmed, if you were born here, you're already a national. Their legal term for it is a non-citizen national. So you already have that. If not, and you naturalized here, then you get it by a matter of law. Moving does not liberate you from having to pay taxes. It's not how that works. You still have to do your revocation, and you still have to get a 98 number, and then you run everything through your 98 number, including creating a bank account or a tax-exempt entity with a tax-exempt number. Generally, if you're going to be overseas, they would prefer to use a 98 number, but you can use your tax-exempt domestic EIN number here over there. That's what makes you exempt. If you use your normal social or a domestic taxable EIN, you're still taxable no matter where you go in the world. Overpaid trading, what's going on? Hey, you got any good trading tips for me? I may or may not have bought into some XRP and some other things, so let me know what's good. Guys, I'm always down for tips, tricks, techniques, inside information, as long as it's not going to get you or me in any trouble. David says, love the content. Hey, thank you for appreciating the content. What's going on, John? I get a lot of my stuff from people like you. That's not all of me just doing the work. If people don't mind me mentioning their names, I will, because it's not just me. I mean, I do a lot of it by myself, but it's not just me. So do you know how to speak Latin? I mean, only a couple words. Tempus fugit, time flies. Novus Ordo Seclorum, New World Order. What is it? It's a little late for me to be thinking about Latin, but yeah, there's a couple more. In hoc something, with this sign, I conquer. Yeah, there's a couple of ones. I don't speak it fluently. I just learned a little bit of it in the books, and because it's kind of a cool language. Wanda says, peace. Yes, peace. Appreciate you. Hopefully you're having a good night. Oh, wait. What's your take on bankruptcy? Well, per one of the judges that one of our fellow wolves out there were talking to, in reference with me and what we're doing here, a judge in private capacity informed one of our fellow people. They said, we don't understand why you guys don't know how to, you guys don't do these things for yourselves, meaning all the stuff I'm teaching here, including filing either bankruptcy for yourself or discharging all of your stuff. And understand that they live in a different world. A lot of people, hell, even my girlfriend lives in a different world. And so it's kind of interesting how we all think that everybody knows what we know, but we don't. So from the judge's perspective, they're like, why don't you guys just discharge your debt or do this? You don't even have to claim bankruptcy half the time. you know, but nobody teaches it. See, when you become a judge or whatever else, they learn all these inside secrets. Just like I've been doing this so long, sometimes I'm out of phase with, you know, what it's like to start from the beginning. And I'm like, yeah, just do that. It's like, oh my, like, why are you know? So you end up living in these circles, just like these elite people. And I've run with some of these elite people. I've met people in the Illuminati, and I've met people in various fraternities and departments and whatever else. And when you're in there so long, it's like breathing. Me coming into some of their worlds and learning some of these things, it's like, oh, hey, that's great. I'm like, oh, you think that's good? Check this out. But we have the ability to do everything that they do. And a lot of times when they do bankruptcy, it's called a non-judicial bankruptcy because it didn't go through the proper court to be lawful, which is an Article 3 court on the federal level. But yeah, everything that they do, we can do. Kind regards to you and the fam. A6, I heard he had a seizure. Usually have a Sunday show. He did have some medical things going on. I don't know if it was fully classified as a full-on seizure. So with respect, because you're bringing it up, he is doing a lot better. He does have shows. He's still on the mend, but he still has them. So you can send your prayers to him or contact him directly and wish him well. Like I said, he's doing very well, but it just takes time after, certain medical things to bounce back, So shot and respect out to A6 and the fam. So he kind of talked about a little bit on his show, so we can kind of make mention of it now. But as his family, he asked us to not really put it out there until he, is in a better position and wants to share it. It was his private business, so he's, okay with it now. So yeah, send out prayers and healing to him. Paul David, what's going on, P? Nothing better than one man, one woman dedicated on death with a great commitment towards family. Yeah, I'm very traditional, but I also have a lot of modern qualities. I'm okay with a lot of things, but they're definitely trying to change the system on us. Brian says, went to jail. They repoed my car. Yeah, you can do everything right with Right to Travel, and if you've done everything right, and they decide to railroad you, which they can do. It's might makes right. Doesn't mean they're legally right or lawfully right, but they just did it just like some creep in a park doing an essay to somebody. But what you need to do from here is to get your stuff out and then file a lawsuit against them in the federal court. That's what you need to do, because the only way they're going to learn is taxing their wallets. Dion said, had a W8 success last week. Yeah, didn't you email me? I think you emailed me on that. If not, it was somebody else. John, what's going on, King? I've not got my passport yet. Serious. I have questions as travel for work in different states, companies and do not want to pay for a consultation. Yeah, you can just hit me up. But generally, you can operate and do all this without a passport. There's nothing holding you back. But yeah, definitely you can set up a consultation. I'll be back in 2 weeks. People are already booking. I mean, people were booking the day I was on my vacation. So it's okay. It just means I got work ready for me when I get back. So it's all good. How did you get that W8BN dealt with? I've been having a big problem with that with myself. Seems like paychecks don't want. Yeah, they don't like you not paying taxes. So I did make a video on all of your options in being tax exempt. But if they don't like the W8BN, you can use either the W4. You can create a private tax exempt trust. You can create a private tax exempt unincorporated association, give them the EIN and have them run everything through it. It's tax exempt. It'll be right on the paper. They can't deny that. The old school way is to update your W4, and I think it's on line 4A, don't quote me. You mark 0 and exempt on there. Um, those are going to be all the ways off the top of my head to do that, but they accept those. The what is it? The was the not the I-9? What's the 1099? When you're a 1099 worker, all right, you can tell them you want to be regarded as that. So you're responsible for your taxes, and then you keep your own W-8 BN and send them the revocation. So there's multiple ways to get it done. 2 years now in this and excited to put everything to use. Yeah, it's like I said, I've been learning this since I was 9 years old, and I've been doing this strongly since I was 19. So yeah, there's lots to learn, lots of things you can do, or things you don't have to do. You can do as much or as little as you want. Hope you get a chance to put together a private cryptonic app on our own private internet. Oh, I've been actually pondering about just running videos directly through Black Site 32, because then I can say whatever I want to say. I can do whatever I want to do. I don't have to worry about any of these platforms. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily get paid that way unless I could find some sponsors. So I'm looking at that as well. So I might put a couple up there so we can just get right to the good stuff. You know what I mean? Hey, if the stars don't match, do you suggest we lose one and reapply so they match? David, they have changed, unfortunately, because of us and putting out that we now have a good understanding of what they're doing. Not 100%. They have changed how they internally grade and depict the stars. So, but doing the application the right way is all that we need. All right. So I wouldn't trip on the stars. I mean, 3 is like the minimum you want. 4 or 5 are obviously the better. But even when I first started, I only had a 3-star, and everything was still working fine. So we know that they do include, if you have a lot of public contacts, say with courts and police and this and that, that is a factor. We know that now, that they use to grade when they do a background check. And a lot of public contacts can help sway you to having fewer, but almost nobody, well, let me say not nobody, you'd have to work really hard to get like a 1 or a 2. All right. But generally people get 3 because the average person gets a 3 because we're averagely kind of depicting that we're on both sides. But there are other hidden things that they do have, like if you're in military or you have military family, or your parents just for some reason weren't U.S. citizens, or you're naturalized. A lot of those little things go into their equations, and they are not going to give up the secrets to all of that. So we can only, but I did make a video on YouTube with ChatGPT, and I kind of forced it to kind of give us some hypotheticals with it. So if you want to, go ahead. I wouldn't put big effort into it as long as you filled everything out right, the first time or whatever else, or when you're ready to upgrade, or if you do lose your, passport or whatever, then yeah, definitely do it the better way. Putting them on notice, Brian, yes. As I made in the one video, everybody should be sending out either anonymously or publicly, hey, look, we want our rights. We want this. Nunc pro tunc, yes. That's also Latin, I believe, which means what? Void from the beginning in Latin, if I remember correctly. What's going on with the IRS taking long on returns? Yeah, they're taking long on returns because even though they hire like another 50,000 in their staff, their archaic computer, and I have this firsthand because I do know somebody on the inside with the IRS, the archaic computer system.
If the IRS doesn't think you're eligible to claim the credits based on its return screening filters, it can delay your refund and ask for more information.
Thanks, AI. Even though I did not ask it to do that, it was listening to me, reading your question. I told you guys, they're always listening to me. You know what I'm saying? Even my girlfriend goes, why do you have all those listening devices they listen to? Because I'm not saying anything illegal and I'm not against them. I'm just exercising my rights and freedoms and making sure you guys know yours. So, but they're taking a long time because so many people are getting EINs now and 98 numbers and creating tax exempt things. that it's swamping their archaic system. So just, either go full tax exempt, or, just throw your stuff in and wait patiently. It'll get there. They ain't gonna forget you. Red Pill says, thanks for what you do, man. Hey, I appreciate you as well. You guys don't really know. I'm not like some other YouTube personality. I really don't have a big circle. I've got a good circle of friends and some family, but you guys are the ones who give me support. A lot of them on the out don't even know what I do. They really don't. You know what I mean? I'm very private normally. It's like you guys know more about me than most of my family. So I really do appreciate you guys telling me your appreciations. Thank you, John. Thank you, Troy. Because I keep it private. I really am. I am wholeheartedly private. I have 2 bank accounts left that I need to switch over into a trust, tax exempt, and 0 interest bearing account or accounts. And I'm out of all that, but I can still jump in and still operate as James C. Lovett when I need, because I have the ability to. Angela, thank you. Love what you do and share for all of us. Appreciate you, Miss Lady. Thank you. Thank you. The IRS is really on some nonsense, taking a long time with the checks. Well, that and the changes that have been done in the system, they're also kind of panicking because Trump wants to get rid of them. And I know that sounds great. I'm on board with that. But, and here's the crazy thing, guys. I heard through a private source that through a person who's come to me that he put Trump on to watching my channel. This guy actually has Trump's cell phone number, so it was kind of wild. I don't know if he still watches my channel or not, but we did talk a couple times or whatever. So they might be abolished. I would say, you know what, 10% across the board for everybody would be fair, and 10% on the tariffs. But here's the thing, too. Whether you like him or not, or Biden or not, or whoever, whatever. I don't care. I'm not political. I don't care about that. Some of the things, and not all of the things he's doing, do I agree with. I definitely, if I was the president or his advisor, would get this country in the next 365 days where it needs to be. It'd be some sweeping, hardcore, Badwolf style changes. But some of the things he's doing with playing around with the numbers, and he is bringing in record amounts of tariffs, for the country. Where that money will all go, we don't know. But sometimes you have to bring people to the table. A lot of people don't know that some of these countries are charging us to send our products to them, even though they need them, 20, 30, and 40%. So all he's saying is, well, okay, well, I want to negotiate this. If you're going to charge us this much, we're going to charge you this much. So that's bringing people to a place where we need to come down to what's sensible. So like the Bible says, if you believe in that or not, 10% tithing across the board is a pretty decent place for reasonable. If I was still a normal U.S. citizen in the tax, bracket, then I would be okay with 10%. That didn't bother me. It's just the fact that 30 and 35% or wherever it's at now is kind of gets you right up in here. What's going on, Monica? Monk 912. What's going on? Oh, okay. You only trading futures. All right. Yeah, I did that for a little while. I was not great. So I'm going to stay over here. Someone said, you are my doppelganger, Hope Foundation Trust Bank. Email me, send me a picture. I love when people send me pictures of what they look like. I can't see any of you guys. You guys get to see me. So yeah, send me a picture. There's a handful of people that I've even had my sister tell me she ran into a guy in our city that looked close enough to me that she was like, and then what's funny is I just had a client viewer do a consultation with her, and she looks like my sister. It is weird. There is not there's not as much DNA variation out there as you'd think. Casey says, oh, thank you for all you do. Hey, thank you for supporting. Monica says, I'm new. Hey, welcome to the tribe. I hope you subscribe. What if your passport gets denied for a misdemeanor warrant? It generally shouldn't. When I was going through my right to travel stuff and I had two, they didn't stop mine. So you got to remember that sometimes these little minor bench warrants, here's some gem drops I normally only give away in my consultations. Your normal little bench warrants on a state level are not filed as crime or criminal generally on the federal level. So federal level is the Department of State and all the rest of them. They don't care about the little BS you've done as a U.S. citizen. But if it does, then you might want to get it expunged or sealed and contact your courts on how to get that done, or me. We can work on it. I've made some videos on it. Michael says, XRP, baby, already. You know it, James C. Love it. I see what you did there. Appreciate you, Michael. Yeah, I got a couple of XRPs. Yeah, I love what you do with the name there. Yeah. If anybody else has any, matter of fact, I got on XRP because certain people out in the view, multiples across the United States, are giving me inside thoughts on things, we'll just say. And yeah, so if it goes where it's supposed to go, we're going to be looking good. I'll give you this as a tidbit. Banks right now are quietly adopting XRP. European elite are buying a lot of it. BlackRock just put 9 trillion on it. And from what I heard, if accurate, educational information only, please seek your own financial advisors. This is for informational purposes only, all of this. The banks all have to be compliant with XRP, I think by June or July. And you guys are going to see some potential retirement numbers between now and your retirement age on what's going to happen with XRP. That's all I'm going to say. We talk about this a little bit in the Telegram groups. So, yeah. One of the chosen ones. If you're talking about me, maybe, I don't know. I'm just, it takes one to be one, I guess. I don't, but thank you. I appreciate you. Rega says, what do you recommend for a foreigner who is in the U.S. but doesn't have a green card yet? And how can they be lawful there? Well, I'm pretty sure this is the part where the Department of State is already watching my videos and going, yeah, or the Immigration Department. Yes, go ahead. Say something, sir. Well, of course, I believe it's the A600 test you should probably take. But I will give you this. I will give you this aspect. If you are here, it should be legally and lawful. However, if you look at the old school court cases, marriage to foreign people, people who came here and naturalized, there is such a thing called the continuous presence test. What does that mean? That means if you're not here legally, but you've been here for a long time and you've naturalized and you have certain things like driver's license, bank accounts, and whatever else, that is all considered to be evidence that you can, through the Immigrations Department, utilize towards becoming a legal citizen and a lawful national. They will accept that. We've put in numerous packets together. So you can do it on your own, or you can contact me for educational purposes to help guide. But yeah, people have done that. There's a number of different ways to go about it, but yeah, you can do that. The denarian, get yourself at least one veritasium. Okay, so veritas, that's truth. Equitas and veritas, much like the Boondock Saints, which is one of my favorite movies. Equitas is equity and veritas is truth. So that's what they were saying, is truth and equity. And I don't know what the one veritasium is, but I will take a look at it. I will look it up. I always refer people to you that ask me certain questions. Thanks, Hope. I appreciate you. That's what we're here to do. Like I said, unlike a lot of other people, I don't advertise. I don't market. I could spend money on that. I don't think I need to. You guys have been helping me to get here. It's very organic. YouTube has been a pretty good platform. I'm also on Rumble and a couple other ones. YouTube pays the best, even though they reduced how much they pay. So you have to work a little bit harder to try to get back to where you were. Imagine that. Just like video games, you got to grind. But yeah, you guys have helped me. And so thank you to everybody who sent people my way. It's been amazing. Like I said, I do not market or advertise or do any of that. I mean, word of mouth here or there. But what's funny is I've been going out lately, and I don't go out a whole lot, even though my girlfriend says, "Oh, you go out all the time." I may go out like 2 times a week, maybe a third time, but usually it's just somewhere close. I know the people, grab some food, come home. But I've gone out a couple of times with some other friends, and people are starting to know who I am out there. It's a little weird. It's a little weird. So I guess I've hit the low level of infamy. Oh, and speaking of that, people have been pretending to be me on some of the social media platforms and getting people on some of their dollar bills. So blacksite32.com, jamesclovett.com, badwolfunincorporated.com. That is it. But on that one site, all of those web addresses take you to the same place. I have social media on there. We can find out which ones are mine on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, all that. Only trust those. Do not ever send anybody money. The only time I ever ask for money is through my videos, and all of it is done through BlackSite32. That's it. So please do not get ripped off. I'm not responsible for scumbag scammers out there. Michael says, hey, how is A6 grind time? Also, which, so I covered that earlier. Also, which do you do first? For the password snaps, it doesn't matter at all. No, it really almost doesn't matter. I've seen people, I haven't seen anybody in a position where they had to do something first, otherwise they screwed something up. There's 1 or 2 small things out there, but generally, knock it down. If you want to do it, remember guys, you can do as much or as little of these processes as you see fit. You do not have to do all of them. The biggest thing they don't want you to know about is that you were born a national and a state citizen. Floridian, New Yorker, Wisconsinite, Californian, Hoosier, Montanan. They don't want you to know that. GPO style manual section 5.23. Cornell Law 8 USC 1401A, 8 USC 1101A 22B. Okay? They just don't want you to know. That's the biggest thing. Mr. T, finally caught alive. Hey, finally caught you. Appreciate you. I've been trying to do these so that I could have you in my comment section, so I appreciate you. One says, I appreciate your response. Yeah, oh yeah. Like I said, I'm easygoing. I do not really have like a big ego or anything like that. I'll talk to anybody as long as you're cool, as long as you respect me, I'll respect you, and we can always agree to disagree. But I definitely enjoy Dell Associates. Hey, what's going on? I finally made it to a live. Yeah, I usually start early, around 7 o'clock. I was just kind of like bored and kind of like wanted to warm up, and I haven't done a live in a while. So it's kind of like this menagerie of where I was. So once again, I told you guys I have a field, so now I'm watching a possum walking through and eating scraps and whatever else. So there's always something crazy going on in this field across the street from me. But welcome to the live, and please subscribe. I've seen somebody did send a $5 donation. Thank you. I've not seen it in the chat. I just seen it pop up on one of the things. So thank you for that. Blazing Bright, Living Light. Thank you, Bad Wolf. Spend much time listening and learning from you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What's your opinion on everything Trump is doing and that doing that goes against the Constitution? You know, it's actually interesting because my girlfriend, who knows a little bit about this kind of stuff, immediately called me when now that she's getting some of this, and her ex and their family are from another country, and the one couldn't get into the country. So I informed her on what I know and told her to tell him and his family this is what it is. So Trump is doing some things that I absolutely do not like. Imagine that. Presidents, no matter who's in there, are always going to do things they like and don't like. So obviously he did not get any of that from me. But he's doing might makes right, which means I think he thinks that he doesn't understand the complexities. I think he's trying to keep out the people who shouldn't be here, but some people who have a right to be here now, like the gangs that he doesn't want to be here. That's obvious, okay. But certain people still have a right to be here, and they do. Well, let me say this correctly. Let me say it correctly. Depending on how they came here and under what guise, and I'll tell you this, a lot of those people are here because of the previous administration, which I found out after doing some digging through some private means, but we'll leave that alone for now. So yeah, I do not stand or support some of the things that he is doing, but that's why we have the Supreme Court, which is the American system that is going to overturn a lot of these unconstitutional things. But do I agree that some of these bad people who are draining our resources and doing horrible things to Americans shouldn't be here? Yeah. But if they have a right to challenge that, that is our nation as we see fit, unless we Americans change it. Californian says, methylene blue industrial dye is a last resort for those in their final days looking to buy a few more days. You've been tricked. I've heard more good than bad about methylene blue. I will say that most things need to be in moderation, but it does have a lot of benefits. We'll say that even upon talking with some doctors about a friend who I told to take certain things, they're not going to tell you all of it, but with anything, there always should be moderation. Okay. And, be careful your sources of where you get them as well. Greetings, Colonel CSA. Do we have to be national to use a WABN? Well, if you're born here or you were naturalized, then and you have a social, you don't have to use it. You can use any of the other forms I mentioned here or in the other video. If you're completely foreign and you're here, the WABN is not going to work for you, but you still can create other tax exempt things as a pass through. So, but yeah, there's numerous other files you can use. Colonel, what's going on? Hello to the Wolfman. I need help from you. Turn a debit card into an unlimited card. Live stream. I have not conquered that. And even if I did, that would definitely not be something I would put on here, but I have not conquered that. The people who were teaching me about that kind of disappeared, so I cannot tell you honestly where to even go to move forward on that one. I think what they were doing, education, do not quote me on this and don't just try some crazy stuff, but I think what they were trying to do is link a debit card to the Cessna K Trust, but I only know of one person who's even remotely has good information towards the trust in general, but not how to link a card or anything like that. So there's still a lot of work on that. The W9. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Angela. I appreciate you. That's what I was looking for earlier. Here it is, writing free, $5. So appreciate you. Intake on fee schedule in the lawsuit. Cops, attorney claim plaintiff isn't entitled to money. Haha. Attorneys lie a lot. I just rebutted their BS. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you could go after them through equity courts. I think one is in Tennessee. But yeah, you're also do a tort claim. Absolutely. Especially if you put your fee schedule in your documentation, in your travel binder for a right to travel, or you put it on the public side, which would be like your UCC. They can't argue with it. I have small ones on my plaques outside of my house. So good job on that. KL says, thank you for educating everyone. We the people must stand. Yeah. I can only give you guys so much information. It's going to take you guys, blazing the trail. How do we find out if we've been put on the do not detain list? That's a very hard one. A lot of people will try to have some cops run it, but the cops are not supposed to share that information. Some people have done a FOIA request. If you have filled out everything the way we have taught you guys, between me, Colonel Von Wilson of Copper Moonshine Stills, and others, especially if they're my students, you are on the do not detain list. Trust me, you are on it. How should I say this? There's no official way you're going to actually get to see it. They have blocked all of those access points. But if you are bothered and you give your card or book to an authority member, a lot of times they'll come back and say, hey, just, be cool, have a good day. And that usually tells you that's where you're at. I will say, I don't know if I should say this, but I mean, he did make a video on it. And I'm not going to call him a student. I will say that he has learned some things from me. There's a guy out there by the name of Taquan X who has some videos on his encounters with police officers and the do not detain scenario. He's also on YouTube. I don't know if recently he still does this, but he did say that he has the ability to he knows somebody who can run it for you. For a price. I don't know how much. I don't know if he's still doing it, but yes, that was a thing. I don't know if he's still doing it or not. So you have to go to his channel and see what it is. If not, then yeah. But ultimately, yeah, you're not going to have proof because they consider it to be a type of security on the national level. So they're like this. If you know how to fill out the application the correct way, you're going to get put on it. That is just it. We've done all the hard work. We did all this to figure that part out. But as far as actual proof, they're never going to show you a document about the stars. They're never going to show you a document that you're on the do not detain list. It's just that is their inside stuff. They are not bending. They're unwavering. You have a better chance of seeing a Bigfoot, riding a unicorn, making out with an alien with a lightsaber. James, you know this, bro. Yeah, I know a lot of this pretty well, man. I live this. I literally live this. This is not me just going, oh, I have a full-time. This is my full-time, I'm not even going to say job, my career, my life's work. And you guys are helping me to stay afloat. You guys are helping me to full-time focus on these books. For those of you guys who don't know, here, I'll turn on the light, even though this is Badwolf After Dark. What is that? All right, but you can see I just stocked up on a whole. These are all America's jurisprudence books. This is American law right there, right? You can see, look at some of my old videos and see I didn't have those because I got called out by some people. Like, oh, he's talking about law, but he doesn't even have any America's jurisprudence law books. Well, I would just research them and use them because generally those are not cheap books at all. So people thinking like I make all this money, I really don't. I do okay. And I've been saving up to buy these, and this is not even the whole collection. But it is what it is. So, Browns, what's going on? My brother James, aka The Bad. What's going on, brother, man? I haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you. Michael says, tell them about the DS-13s. They need to know about the passport and why. DS-13s. I wasn't going to specialize in, you know what? I'll make a video. I'll make a video separately than here. Just want to kind of keep it light and just kind of run through. But yeah, I'll make a video on that because we have learned a little bit more about some other files. So we'll get there. When none of your information shows in their database. Yeah, they will almost always keep records unless you use, and I don't remember the federal code, but it's under federal code, blah, 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 right to deletion, where you can try to force them to get rid of your information. But when they run your passport, that is the passport ID we now know is the national, is considered the certificate of nationality. That's what the passport is. It is the certificate. It is one of the forms. There's a paper version and the passport is the other one, depending on how you fill it out. And that's what we teach. That then says that the person who is identifying themselves. So you are the person with the ID that you present when out in the public. If an officer tries to cross-reference your name to something else and say, oh, well, we think this is you instead of your passport, that is a felony for him. He is forcing joinder, and that is a federal offense. You are the person who you say you are with that ID or your private ID. That is it. Okay? So when they run it, they're not going to see certain things that you may or may not have done on the public level with your driver's license or state ID. So yes, David is right. Troy, what's going on, Troy? Oh, he's laughing. I must have did something wild. Authority of the court, bro. Authority. Yes. Michael's right. Richard, how do you know if your passport is a national and not a citizen? So if you check off yes to mom, yes to dad on the DS11, number 11, if you check off yes to U.S. citizen, and if you put even your address down on the second page on the permanent address section with the zip code, any one of those things by itself, any one of them, by law, they have to pull you into the U.S. citizen category. Those are the main monikers on the passport process. If you've used any one of them, by law, if you've used any one of them, they made your passport tainted with the U.S. citizenship. They have to, because some people who have any of those things, like let's say you're from another country, but your dad is from here, then through birthright, you get his citizenship. So they have to acknowledge even the smallest thing. So we say no to all of those things and 0 for the zip code, and we don't put an address down for our permanent address. So move with that as you see fit. Dave, hey, Badwolf, it's Canadian. There's only citizenship. There's no state, rather than no 14th. How can a Canadian go private? Well, if you're talking about in Canada, I believe there's a guy up there who's the Canadian version, of the Badwolf, and I believe his channel, if he's still doing it, is called A Warrior's Call. But hypothetically, if I was Canadian, and some of the Canadian ladies a long time ago have shown me a good time, we'll just say, some of my favorites. No, I did have fun in Canada. Quebec is my favorite, I think. Love Montreal, and I was in Alberta, being sassy years ago. But if I was a Canadian, I would look at some of how your country was originally created. I would see what they have to say about Native Americans, because even though you're I guess technically you're considered a Canadian citizen, you might be able to either get recognized by a native tribe or see what the qualifications are to become one. I would also look into religious freedoms, and much like here, creating a exempt version. I'm sure they have to have some kind of freedom of religion or something up there, and you guys can probably use that as well. Michael says citizens are slaves. Exactly. I covered a video where we talked about the word citizen. When you break it down, citai, means to colonize, colonial, to put in a column. And citai also means property of the city-state. Zen means to be made calm. So citai Zen are slaves of the city. Even though the government does refer to us as private citizens or citizens of the United States, it just is what it is, because technically we're still yet underneath that. We're not ever almost completely out of everything. Mostly what we do here is we're getting out of the state's jurisdictions. Can you teach us how to transfer our accounts into our trusts? Yeah, I usually do that in private, so we can do a consultation. That will also be handled in the seminars that are coming up. I've been getting those questions a lot, so I got you guys covered. But yeah, we'll be going into that. Here, I'm just going to kind of go through the questions as much as possible for, another 45 minutes or an hour, we'll see. And so I don't want to be too heavy on things. We can put that in other places. But yeah, I got you covered. I'm not going to forget. I'm not understanding how I would still be liable for taxes on worldwide income if I'm no longer a U.S. citizen and only a national, because you can't, you're not renouncing your citizenship. That is still a look at it, think of it as a credit card that if you do anything through that social connected to it, it's their money. That's how they look at it. Okay. Now there are some ways to fight it, but there's also, if you were gonna, I'm trying to think of the form. Damn it. What is the form? I haven't been in work mode like completely. So there's another form where if you're making money abroad and you declare when you work with that particular employer, which is really where you become taxable at, because it's by your account in a lot of circumstances. Okay, so if you're going to work with your employer, you need to fill out a 673 form. And just make sure, hold on. Yeah, so you can fill out I believe it's an IRS 673 form where you're basically saying that your income earned abroad is considered foreign. But if you still have your U.S. citizen side and you fill out the paperwork in another country that you're a U.S. citizen and you don't fill out or give them your W-8BN or the IRS form 673 or whatever else, then you're taxable. Yeah, somebody probably gave you misinformation. See, you have a citizen and a national side. Citizen is public, national is private. Nationals are generally tax exempt. Citizens are generally taxable. Just because you know about your national side doesn't mean you can't go over there and just be like, yeah, I'm cool now. You have to depict it when you're dealing with your employer. Once you're dealing with that employer, you have to fill out on the paperwork. Say I'm filling it out right now. Are you a U.S. citizen? Check one of the boxes. I'm going to go to the other box that says other, and I'm going to check it off. I'm going to put either national or Floridian, and then go, okay. Here's my W-8BN. Here's a 673. Keep a copy for me. Now you're tax exempt, educationally speaking. Do your own research. But yes, okay. Matter of fact, one company's HR department got back to one of my people and they said, we don't like this the W-8BN, but we will accept the 673. Okay. Or there's also the W-9. You can fill it out that way and be your own withholding agent, etc. Well, actually, you should file to be your own withholding agent if you're going to do it properly. But all right. So yeah, that's a little bit about that. Yeah, there's a lot of misinformation out there, guys. I only answer the things that I know emphatically. If I don't know, I'm just going to say I don't know. How can I stop an attorneys from calling me the SE word? I told them it's defamation. Send them a bill. Tell them that if you're going to keep calling me that, you're making a legal determination. And unless you're the legal department, you can't do that. And if you're going to do that, I'll just sue you in federal court over that. And of course, they almost never put it in writing. Okay. So if they're going to call you that, tell them to prove it. It's their claim. You want to call me that? Prove it. But here's the thing. The sovereign C word has no standing in law. So they can't do anything or prosecute you that way. So it's defamation of character, and it could be potentially hazardous. So they're jeopardizing your life. So send them a bill and tell them this is a formal notice of cease and desist, especially if you can get it in writing, which would be really stupid on their part. And then take them to federal court. Richard says, woo, late night with the Wolf, cool show. Thank you. Thank you, Richard. Appreciate you, brother man. Private is different from public, so you don't interfere with other people that are in public relations. Yeah, and then you start to learn that there's also a private side in the public. So yeah, just when you thought everything was just black or white, I haven't really been teaching you guys the deeper levels where if this is the line, here's private, here's public. On the public side, you can actually be a private person or entity on the public side. So yeah, it gets a little wacky once you get out in them there parts. Finally alive, I need to get a private. Erlin, yeah, you could get a private consultation. Black Site 32 if you need. Writing Free says, yep, sue them for it. Yeah, guys, like you can't be afraid to sue them. That is the only way that they're going to learn. If we want to take back our country, so to say, we're going to have to file lawsuits. That's it. We've been nice for years now. I've had my channel up, what, 10 years? We've been cool. We've been non-combatant, non-belligerent. And we're still going to be that way. But now we're going to sue them. Now we'll get their attention when you start hitting their pocketbooks. Share the steps for a non-interest account. I thought I covered that in another video, but what's going on, Money Boy? Appreciate you. A non-interest bearing account, a lot of banks don't like to talk about that. They will look at you kind of crazy because either they know that you're incredibly smart but they may try to, long story short, you can go to the bank and convert your account now or keep some money in your interest-bearing account. But remember, that interest-bearing account, that interest that you are receiving is considered a public contact. It's like a drop of bloody water. Every time it hits your hand, that's blood money. That interest is blood money. And they have access to your bank account because you're considered a public person because of so many contacts. Then your name is on the legal side. It's registered as a voter to them, as a citizen. They have access to it. So when you create a bank account or convert your existing account to a trust account, okay, I would recommend irrevocable. And you or you can convert one, or you get an EIN as a tax exempt irrevocable trust. Go to the bank and tell them you want to open up a account. I would call them first and ask them if are there any trust accounts that they do not work with. Hold them to it. And then you just tell them, I want a zero interest bearing account. They're like, what? You're not going to get any money on that. They're going to really try to hump your leg, so to speak. Because remember, if they're paying you 1%, they're making at least 5 to 7 behind your back. That's how they stay in money. That's how they stay in business, for the most part, until they have to have taxpayer bailouts. I don't remember any of us getting paid back from them. Just saying. So yeah, you just ask them, tell them, I want a non-interest bearing bank account and I want to create it as a trust. Submit all your paperwork. Not hard. Borchell says, if they get rid of the IRS, that means they already have something worse for the U.S. Yeah, I do not foresee them getting rid of the IRS 100%. I just don't see it. That might be some pillow talk he was saying to get people jazzed up. But keep in mind that if they do, which would be weird, I highly doubt it, but we'll see. The money that we're making with tariffs will if he does it right, will more than take care of and surpass the amount of money that they're getting from us as U.S. citizens. If he does the tariffs right. If not, it'll be a shit show with that. So we'll see. If you're operating in the private, then can you go back to the public? It's not the other way around. You can bob back and forth. That's one of the reasons why a lot of these gurus or old timers don't really like what I'm doing, is because I'm teaching you guys that you can go back and forth, but you have to have a vehicle for the private. Now that your given name has been tainted and it's a legal name on the state level, and we do most of our business with the state level, the government, federal level, they do not see your name in all capitalized letters as a legal person. It's actually you, because they're operating under the Constitution. The state level and lower, per the GPO style manual, will tell you that you are a legal person. not the Fed. So state level, right? So if this is tainted, you need to create a vehicle like a private nation, 508c1a, trust, business trust, unincorporated association, whatever else, so that everything you're doing over here is private. And if you guys really want to know the truth about the straw man is nothing more than a vessel, a suit of armor, a shield, or a glove to protect you while you're mining and doing work in hell. You're supposed to work in hell, take the gold out through your straw man, public transmitting utility, and put it into something private. That's what we were all supposed to do at the age of 18, at the age of majority. We never did that, so they consider us to be, even though we're full size, we're out of our minor account, but we're still minor minded, so they can administer over us as public officers or public trustees like them. But in fact, we are not that. We are the beneficiaries, but we've been operating in trustee capacity, which is why they can ticket, tax, tow, and terrorize everything in that straw man trust. You left all your stuff on the private side. Just like you working for me, mining gold in my backyard, and then you hang up your suit on the outside of my house with gold in it and platinum and whatever else, and then people come by and snatch it when they want. You've been leaving all your stuff on the table. It should have been in the private. KL says, writing free. I plan to. These attorneys are trying to get sanctions on me for filing suits. They need arresting. Yeah, escalate it. Tell them they're trying to do like malicious prosecution, slander, defamation of character. Go after them in the federal court. The reason why they're bothering you is because they know that you're dangerous. I was already told by certain people that a lot of them know by name. Well, after doing this longer than a lot of attorneys and lawyers and some judges have since retired, I've caused the retirement of a number of them. Yes, I'm not exactly their favorite person either. All right. I just try to stay out of their hair. You stay out of mine, I'll stay out of yours. So, but it's because they find you to be threatening. Woohoo, caught you live. Awesome. Want to say thanks for doing such a great job in what you do. Hey, thank you guys. You guys are like a dream come true because like growing up, you know what it was like being like 15, 16 and trying to learn this stuff and nobody wanted to listen. Nobody thanked you for anything unless you got them out of trouble. I had to get people out of jail, out of prison, out of the cops' detention. I challenged the cops on the streets. I've been through so much you guys wouldn't, like if I told you guys my real whole life story, you guys would be like, Jesus H. Christ. And you still smile and you still keep going. But like everybody else, I do have my down days, and there are times where I'm depressed. I am not going to lie about that. I don't believe in lying about any of that stuff because people need to know the truth. It is not easy doing this at times, especially being somebody who's private like me, allowing myself to be viewed in the public. All right. It comes with many different types and different levels of attacks. Okay. So, but if you really believe in this, and I do believe that I was meant to do this, even though I never really wanted to be on the private side, so I give glory to God, you know, it's going to come with some people not liking you because you're challenging their way of profit, their way of life, their way of the future. We are putting the noose around the DC beast, so to speak. Thank you for your knowledge always. Vintage, appreciate you. Divine says, thank you, because it is difficult to find someone to discuss these topics with who are adults. We have a society of adolescents. Oh my God, I'm going to raise my hand. Be blessed in the name of the Almighty. That is the worst part is so many people. I like to call them on my TikTok channel, by the way. I talk about more relationships and male, female things and whatever, just casual. Like I will be on my new YouTube channel called Badwolf Unlimited, okay? There are so many people operating right now thinking that, oh, they're adults and they're men and they're women. No, there's a difference between a boy and a man. It's like there's a difference between a girl and a woman. And a lot of people out here are operating as adult-sized boys and adult-sized girls, and there's a lot of mental health issues, okay? But they think that because they're functional, that they're good to go, and it's not true. It's not true. But they have the right to tell their story. It's theirs, so I'll let them tell it their way. But just understand that there's a lot of crazy, off-kilter people out there in the world. Asia, what's going on? 100? 100. Not accurate info on tariffs. Sorry, bro. No, you're the one who's not right. You don't get it. All right. Read on tariffs. We used to have tariffs, and there are a lot of countries out there who tax us a lot more than what we're paying. You are misinformed. So be gone. No disrespects, but seriously, I've read these things. You're just going to jump on here and no, you're not accurate on tariffs. Read on it. It's public knowledge. Jesus, pick up a book. Glad I don't pay that crap anymore, too. All right, Kale file. Okay, you can read that because this is good information right here. We've done this ourselves. Bonding code. I'm not sure. I got wrap up and safety checkpoint, which was not following Kentucky federal guidelines. I called them out on the procedures, and the sheriff, K-9 officer, stated that they work under a different jurisdiction or something like that. Well, the sheriffs are supposed to be constitutional, but they may be operating corporately. So that might be what they're doing. They're not supposed to do that. But once again, it's something that, and it's so hard because like reporting them and then getting somebody above them in the government, all you can do is let them know this is how this station is operating, and then let the FBI and the Attorney General, all these other places know so that they can do an investigation. There's no solid intermediary. And this is why I try to help teach you guys how to fight back or protect yourselves. Because there's no organization that just jumps in and comes to your rescue. You have to rescue yourself. But eventually they'll get involved, but they do not move quick. Vanessa, what's going on? Appreciate you. Glad you caught the live. I appreciate you. Carter, and they do not have to follow the guidelines. Yeah, see, I bet you they said that to you, but ask them to put it in writing and then they won't do it. Or start recording them and see how uncomfortable they get. Or just skip right to the head agencies, including the governor. Send a letter. Even if you want to send it anonymously, send it out, but report them and let them be and use names, and you'll see how not quickly. It's almost like building a mountain. You have to like throw a handful of dirt. All of us have to take a handful of dirt and throw it at one spot to make a mountain. That's what we're generally up against, because there is no captain save you. You have to have everything right. And that's not how it should be. They should be nervous about us because we are their bosses from the private standing. That is just it. Michael says, how are you, James? You love it. I'm doing okay. A little tired. Otherwise, okay. And it's just sometimes it's frustrating dealing with people who are know-it-alls and bots and your various certain lawyers or attorneys who like to sit in my chat and talk trash. It's one of the reasons why I keep most of the comments off of my videos, is because I'm not saying I know it all by any means, but I do read emphatically, like a lot. Those people who don't know, I also just bought another cabinet. Generally, this is all you guys can see in my room, but there's a new cabinet. I already got some new books and things started over there. And understand that a lot of things are also subject to interpretation. So it's fine if you want to read the same information that I do, just like that's why there's hundreds, if not thousands, of different religions based on the same one or two books. That's okay. But here's the thing we're not going to do. We're not going to argue. We're not going to name call. We're not going to be like, my way is the only way. I have never said that. So if somebody does try to disrespect me, I'll just ignore you or block you or whatever else. It won't bother me none. But if you want to have a normal, healthy conversation or discussion or debate, totally fine. I have students right now who use different codes than me, and they're getting their results. And I've always said, look, If you use a different code, here's why I use mine. Show me why you use yours. Prove it to me like I'm the law or a judge or the legal department. I'll listen. We go back and forth. Okay, great. Hey, as long as you're getting the same results, that's all that matters. And you're showing a different way to interpret information. There's lots of them. But the one thing we won't do, like some of these other channels out here who attack me, is I'm not going to clap back. I'm grown. I don't need to go tit for tat. I know I've been successful with this. But I am always open to new viewpoints on different things. That because otherwise you're not teachable. And I always want to stay teachable. I don't always want to be the smartest person in the room. And when I'm not the smartest person in the room, let me tell you the things I learn. Oh man, talk about feeling like you're 12 years old and taking notes again. When you run with some of these high value people, man, they do not play. It is all business, man. No kiss on the back of the neck, no reach around, no call the next day, just business. They are, man, it is wild. I haven't had any of those in a while, but Rich says the warrant is actually a municipal bond. Oh yeah, well, yeah, it's a multi-layered thing. It's not just the one thing we think it is. They definitely are making money. What's going on, Casey? They're making money. It's layered. That's why they're good at what they do. They have perfected their craft, and it is really hard to unpeel all the layers of the onion that they have created. They're good at it. That's why they haven't been caught, and that's why they haven't been shut down. Plus, if what I believe and have heard is true, then the GOV is also getting kickbacks from what these courts and whatnots are doing. So, you know, Big John. Hey, James, what's up, my dude? Hope you have been doing good, and thank you for all that you do. Big J, I appreciate you. Thank you. I sincerely thank you guys for the appreciation. I know you guys have sent prayers for me and my family. Some of you guys know more than others, so thank you for the people who do know. And yes, this does tire me out at times. Right now, I'm just tired from a lot of stuff around the house and personal life, whatever else. And then just, even though I'm on I'm going to pop up here in a second, my staycation, there's still a lot of deep thought. There's a lot of work. I've been working on new videos, new materials. I have some very powerful information that we're going to put out. Some stuff hasn't been valid or vetted yet, so I don't want to put out things that are not right or might get you or me or anybody in trouble. It's not how we do it here. So I have to, by the time you're seeing some things, guys, it's been months or years in developing them or trying them out. Says the Trust, says the KV Trust. Yeah, we access the Cesta KV Trust, of 1666. We access it every day. The trust is no more than the money that the Treasury and that they are holding for us to be able to discharge things. When we buy things, certain banks and certain other entities access the trust and pull credit. So we've been using it all the time. We, the people, just don't know how to access it for purchasing. We know how to access it for discharging. And that's what the courts and all these other things do. The money doesn't just go away. We're discharging it to the trust. So it's being used every day. Looks like the staycation is over. What's going on, Speed? One of my favorite people. No, staycation's not over. I got 2 more weeks, but I just got the urge and the itch to jump on a live. It's been a while. Had some extra energy, not a ton, but I just want to see if the people are on. See if anybody would, catch me late night and holler at the wolf or howl at the wolf. How about that? KL, file UCC 1 statement, attack their bonds. They can't work without the bond. 9-day grace period. They still don't pay. They'll lose their assets. Be careful with filing the UCC 1s against them personally. If you cannot prove that they owe you a debt, because that's what got some other people in trouble. So you want to get a judgment against them if at all possible before doing that. Not to say hasn't been successful for some people, but they can turn that around on you. So I would suggest sending them a bill, and just like everything else, put them in the collections. You're the most sincere. Thank you for all you do. Wanda, thank you. Be blessed. All of you guys actually be blessed, other than, the one troll in the audience. The rest of you guys are awesome. Any info on IDQ? It's not ringing a bell. I might be tired and the brain's not all the way firing on all 12 cylinders right now. Break that open for me and then I'll let you know. I have UCC perfected 5 million for DNA. If you only knew about my cases. Hey, email me or whatever. I would love to hear. You guys can email me your victories. If you don't want me to mention your name, I won't, but I'll make a short on it or something. I'll tell you this. I perfected mine as well, and it helped me to get out of a case because when they forcibly took DNA from me when I was operating, allegedly under the influence, I informed them that there was a lien on my DNA and my blood and that they owe me money. You robbed me. I have a lien on the commercial side. Here it is. My, oh my, how quickly everything was dropped and discharged. I'll give you guys that gem drop. So the UCC is powerful, but you need to use it the right way. Ugh. Are you serious? So you're saying I can make a $14,000 profit? Where's my baby? Where's my sexy? Where is my sexy? There she is. Talking about this book right here. So yes, Big John says that police misconduct book that you had in your one video, this one right here, he's seen it go for 15K. I have not looked for this book in a long time because obviously I have this bad boy right here. I do know that at one time it was 3K when I was looking for this a long time ago. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put a chain on and walk around in the hood like, yeah, dog. I got that police misconduct book, 15K around my neck. I got my neck froze. Oh, but for real, man, yeah. Whoo, all I can say is if you guys can go out there and find you one of those, I recommend eBay, by the way, or Discount Books or Half Price. But if you can find it anywhere for cheaper, y'all better get it. Y'all better get it because they don't want y'all to have it. They do not want y'all to have it. Trust me, they do not like the books I got. This is like the rule books to the Matrix. That's why they don't want you guys to have them. I had one client. He was like, oh, the one book you mentioned, how much is it? So we went on to Thomas and Reuters. That book was $32,000. You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? Oh, yeah, they definitely don't want you to know certain things. All right, let's see what we got here. Can a Canadian skip the typical legal Washington, U.S. and president goes straight to I cannot say for sure. I don't know that one. I'll be honest. I do not know if you can just go straight to being a national. I mean, I guess technically if you're here, but then technically you're here illegally. So the way they kind of have it set up is they want you to go through their system. And overall, there's nothing really bad with that as long as because you now know how to operate and what's really going on. But it's like a direct, easy, done path. Nah, not that I have been able to see thus far. And KL, yes, go get them. Go get them, Tiger. Janie and Muma family, awesome. Badwolf Unlimited. Looking forward to the alien talk. Oh, yeah. I got some stuff to say. I got some stuff to say. It's like I said, some of y'all are going to love me more on my other channels, and some of y'all might like me a little less, but you'll still love me on this channel. I'm going to give you guys 100% what I've seen, what I've been through, what I have. I have to keep some things private because of who gave me the information, and I know that sucks. But I will say I will give you guys as much as I can on. And don't worry, none of it is like, how should I say? None of it is like a security risk. I don't have any clearance levels like that, even though I was going to go into the military and intelligence because I love this kind of stuff. But the reason why I didn't is because I like to talk about it. So that's a bad combination. Oh, man. Hey, Dave, you see, I'm in Canada too, robbed of everything by acts of fraud on the court. Yeah, this is a worldwide thing. They're doing this all around the world, tied together through the major bankers, your European elite, your Vatican, your City of London. And there are some families with some names out there that are so powerful. You won't even see their name on anything. That's when you know they're powerful. So if you're thinking, oh, Rockefellers, Rothschilds, and those are still low levels. Those are the low level ones. Like I said, I've had some very interesting conversations with people who would rather remain private, but they do not mind sharing some things with me. My baby was born free, no contacts, etc. What other steps can I take to have the correct process for him? Get him a passport. Get him a passport. And then as far as being able to do commerce, you would want to get him a tax-exempt EIN so he can work tax-exempt right out of the gate, make it in his name as far as the business. I already have videos on how to get the tax-exempt EIN, so watch those. These people do not sponsor me, but a good book that I even learned about how to have private children, or what this guy refers to as ninja babies, is this book right here. Title 4 says your swag. This is a 3.1 version. I know it's like on 4 or 5 at this point in time, but that's a lot of the guy's got some stuff. He's got some stuff in that book. Frog Dog says, I do flooring. I haven't used ads in over 30 years, only word of mouth. Word of mouth is the American way. Advertising is the commercial way, which, once again, even as a U.S. citizen, there's nothing wrong with using their tools, as long as you know what they are and you're not using them all the time. You don't want them to consider you to be their property. Hold on. The wife texts me. All right. Okay. Michael says, honestly, I think it's a great thing that you are what you're doing, bro. I would like to think so, as somebody who just wants to help anybody who wants to listen to me go through life a little bit easier, get your rights, your freedoms, and your liberties, and just live as a private citizen out of their grasp. That's it. I don't know why people give me a hard time about it, other than either jealousy or ignorance. I don't get it why you would want to be against anything on here. I'm like the most easygoing guy 99% of the time. If you don't like how I interpret information, that's okay. We can agree to disagree. Use it or not. Believe me or not. All I know is when multimillionaires are offering to buy me out or contacting me for weekly advice privately, I must be doing something right. One guy was a multimillionaire and owns a number of apartment buildings, and wanted to know if he can convert the whole thing into something private. So I must be doing something right. And it's funny because a lot of these people who attack me, one of the first things I ever say to them is like, has a judge ever asked you to join them? No. Well, I have. So I must be doing something right if your potential enemy or your combatant, your other, wants to have you on their side. Is the passport the first step to freedom? Nope. The first step to freedom is you knowing that you are a state citizen, where that information can be found, and you now understand who and what you really are, which is a national, a state citizen, a private person, non-resident, foreign national, their boss, a beneficiary. That is the first step. It has to start here with understanding this information, where to find it, GPO style manual, section 5.23. And for the people who don't know, in our country, citizenship and nationality are not the same thing. This is why a lot of people think that I'm just crazy. I mean, a little bit like a wolf. But in 8 FAM, section 301.1, it and section 300 and 301.1, it tells you that here in America, citizenship and nationality are not the same thing. So if they're not the same thing, they're not the same thing, which means you then have two separate things going on. One's private, one's public. This is why a lot of these pencil pushers, remember guys, when they're in public office as attorneys, lawyers, police officers, judges, they are not legally regarded in that moment as American, but US citizens. They're citizens of the United States, but they're in a type of private capacity in the public. So they have a job to do, which is to defend and protect their way of life and the system. It's not until you can possibly talk to one of them in the private, if they're even in the know, about what's really going on. They literally don't know, and they know they have to defend that. And they think they're defending America and our rights and that we're wrong. That's the funny part. But go ahead and try to get a Declaration of Independence, Constitution, or Bill of Rights. Try to hand them one of these, and you'll see the devil run, because they know they're not operating with this. They're operating with corporate statutes, rules and regulations of the corporation. Yeah, I always save all the lives. All of my lives, you should be able to go to my YouTube channel and then click on the live playlist. They're all on there. I don't know why a lot of people can't find them or something. I'm not sure, but yeah, they're all of my lives. I don't take anything down. I've only taken down like 3 videos myself, but I have had some go missing. Oh, where did you get them? Oh, those documents, Amazon. Amazon, yep. Amazon, you can get them for relatively cheap. No one's buying them. Nobody knows to even get them. I'll tell you this. I probably shouldn't tell you this. And I'm not saying do this. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying to do this. I really mean it. Especially if you don't know how to wield this correctly. So do not do this. But I will tell you something they do not like. They do not like the Bill of Rights. They do not like the Declaration of Independence, nor the Constitution. They do not want it in the courtroom. They do not want it. They do not like showing up with a real little American flag with no fringes on it. They do not like that. They do not. I'm telling you, they do not like that. They see you come with that a mile away, you're going to make them hella uncomfortable because they know what's really going on. When they're in session, that session is not representative of the Constitution, which is the supreme and highest law in the land. They're doing private stuff, but their private stuff is so big, it's called the public. If I'm in one gang, I better not show up at the gang meeting with the rival gang's colors on. You feel me? passport is just one way of many ways I know. Yes, yeah, there's lots of ways to declare yourself. Am I coming to West Cali from Paul? I might have some business out there, so it is possible. It is possible. Yeah, if you are considered a dual citizen, the part that they didn't tell you is that nationality as a national comes with it. It comes with it. You get both under Cornell Law EDU 8 USC 1101 22. Excuse me, Cornell Law EDU 8 USC 1101A 22A and B. You get both by law. Yeah, John, that's an interesting thing because I don't remember anywhere where it says illegals are protected. But see, you have to break down illegals because illegal there are the illegal illegals, and then there are the ones who are in the process of becoming citizens or whatever else. They're just starting their paperwork and whatever else. So I think that they really need to be careful. I think that's what the problem Trump was having, is he doesn't understand that there's a line down there where there are some who are just here doing mischief and on some BS, have no thoughts of ever trying to do anything here, which even that, if they're here long enough, could allow them to petition through the A600 test to become citizens and then also get nationality. And then there's the ones who are doing it the correct way. So that has to be more clearly defined because it's a gray area and it's can be used for good or bad, and they're not wielding it right because some people who are good are getting caught up in the bad stuff, and that's not fair either. What's going on, Sean P? Yeah, you don't have to do all of the things on my channel or anybody else's channel mentioned. You don't have to do all of the processes. You just need to know what your powers are. That's the big thing. Divine. Okay, if you're talking, all right, if you're talking to me, yeah, you know, I'm on. You can find me on my website. Yep, affidavit of repudiation, revocation of citizenship. Yep, you can do all those things. You can do as much as you want. Just remember, though, be careful if you're going to renounce, because if you renounce, they can start to act funny with you. All right. I found that out personally because I have renounced. So, but I still have access to use my straw man. If you renounce the full way, which is through the court for $1,500, if you notice on the paperwork, it generally is going to say, oh, you're getting rid of your American nationality. It's funny how they don't make mention of nationality. You're talking, no, I just want to get rid of my citizenship. But they try to curve you into getting rid of your nationality, which also has your citizenship, and then you lose both and you become stateless. And that means anybody can do anything they really generally want to you. And you're in between kings and castles. Not a good place to be. The real ID is, Amanda, is their way of curving the American people from getting the passport, which does all of those things and then some. They don't like that everybody has jumped on the bandwagon, especially the states, because if you're operating with a passport and not utilizing their ID, they're losing money. They don't like that. Mama of four, I might need some help. Yeah, you can hit me up for a consultation or writing free. Oh, by the way, if you guys have like Facebook groups or Telegram groups, put that in the comments section if you guys want to share communications. I'm not responsible if other people contact you, so don't put your phone number or anything like that. You can also put on there what state you guys are in or what nation you've created, if you have one. I don't care. That does not bother me. This is what we're here to do, is to bring people together. I sent him a link to cover and link to the channel. Yeah, Zach. Yeah, he can redo it. He can upgrade it or update it. There's ways to do that. Trump is definitely not always 100% correct. I haven't met one person, hell, not even me, and I strive on perfection to the point where it annoys people. But even I'm not perfect. I've never met anyone who's perfect. So he's definitely. And here's the thing: depending on who's all in his cabinet or whatever else, they may be saying things that sound good to him, but he hasn't done the research. He would really need somebody like me to look at what is transpiring to be able to say, yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, we need to revise this. That's why he's going to run into some of these challenges. And some of the people in his cabinet could be working for the cabal. We don't know. They're everywhere. There's a lot of Godheart. There's a lot of information there. I did make a couple of videos on some of this, so check that out on YouTube. To reclaim your estate. Short version would be it's understanding that your birth document is your claim to your estate. You need to know how to claim it properly and inform them who you are properly. I would transfer everything into a private trust. I would make that trust tax exempt, private. I wouldn't record it or register it anywhere. I wouldn't name it my same first, last, or middle name. I would have at least 3 copies, one in a safe at your house, one maybe at the bank in a lockbox, maybe one with a lawyer or family friend. And I would transfer ownership of all my stuff into those things. That's where you would want to start. Writing Free says the Writing Free Equine. Sorry if I screwed that up. But at Gmail. So there you go. You guys can talk. Yep, you can. The Form 56 is appointing somebody fiduciary over certain things or for a specific time. But yeah, you guys can also look for Facebook groups or whatever groups online in your area that you guys can join. But as always, guys, please be careful with whoever you join. You don't know who they are or what their intentions are. So be skeptical, vet information, protect yourselves. Don't just meet up with people in places. Be careful. A lot of people have no idea how dangerous people are and can be out there. Kandarian, what's going on? What's going on, brother? Richard says, I only got 4 on my stars. Is that almost as good as 5? You know what? Let me dispel this right now so people don't think differently. I only have a 4-star passport. I do not have a 5. People have used my information and gotten 5 all around me, even when I was developing all this stuff, and I have not gone to update it to get the 5. I'm not worried about it. I know that we filled it out the correct way. I've used it with police officers countless times. It works just fine. Literally, the only main difference is that the higher it is, the more the law enforcement are supposed to respect you being regarded as a diplomat on the do not detain list. But it has worked with the 3-star, 4, and 5. But I've seen all officers ignore that and still yet arrest anybody with no matter what the stars are, even though the person was in the right. I've seen them arrest federal officers. They have more jurisdiction than federal officers. So if they're going to ignore the law, they're just going to ignore the law. So the passport is not the saving grace, but if they're going to respect the law and keep themselves out of trouble, then yes, 5 is better than 4, 4 is better than 3, 3 is better than 2, and so on. But it's just about getting it and filling it out the right way. That's the best thing. So don't trip on the stars. Richard says, Leon has good information on borrowing from the Federal Reserve. I do not know, so I cannot say for sure. I would need to see proof, not just talk. I want to see it. I want to then be able to research it. I want to see the money in people's account. I also want to see them not get into any trouble for 1, 2, or 3 years. I want to talk to the reserve. It's the whole thing. The big thing here is it's these people do not play when it comes around with their money or their forms. If you use their stuff, you're walking down a alley in the middle of the hood with nothing on you at 2:00 in the morning on a Saturday night by yourself. So be careful when it comes to any processes that you're trying to get money from them or use their forms to do certain things. All right. Left myself, my cousin was almost taken by a Sasquatch up in Montana in the early mid 90s. I have never seen a Sasquatch, and I'll tell you why I do believe that they're real. All right. I might lose some people here. Oh, well, if you believe in stuff like that, I believe there's a lot of things going on, but I'll tell you why. All right. This is my reason why. The fact that it seems like the government doesn't want us to know about that makes me want to know about that. Two, probably even more important than that one, that Native Americans have talked about it, and I'm part Native American, for hundreds of years. They know about them. It's not a big thing. They know about them. There's a lot less these days. Science has been doing something interesting. This is why something like this I'm going to talk about more on my other YouTube channel called Badwolf Unlimited. But science is curving around to the Bigfoot thing. But here's how they're doing it so clever that they can say, oh, we know about that. We've already talked about that. They found a Sasquatch or Bigfoot tooth, and they DNA tested it, and they said it's human-like, but it's more gorilla or orangutan family, and they call it Gigantus epithecus. But they said there are no living ones, and they went extinct a long time ago. So science is already covering their bases. See, that's how these people work, man. They're clever. They're clever. They are very clever. But so am I. Charles says, good for you, James. Keep it going. Okay, so Big John, here's my secret with those books. eBay. I got these America's Jurisprudence books. I mean, it still probably cost me about $1,000, right? Even though normally some of those books are $1,000 by themselves. But a lot of people don't know what they have. A lot of libraries and private collections are being put up on eBay, and people don't know what they are. So I just walk in like I don't know what they are either. And I'm like, well, I guess I'll take them off your hands or I'll haggle. I know it's kind of a dick move because I'm already getting them kind of cheap, but I'm like, if I would go like maybe, $80, on this $140 set, would you go 80? And most of the time they'll say, yeah. So just get them. Or go to the library. Here's a big secret I used to also do. I'm not saying steal from the library. It's not where I'm going with this. But go to the library and tell them you want that book and have them order it. I used to get all kinds of books because they can check their whole entire system. I used to have my hands on some books that were so fire that people figured out what they were and removed them from the library by going there and ordering and asking for books. And then I would read them, learn, and then I would just move on. I didn't think that they would be trying to hide the knowledge the way they have been doing it. If I would have known that, I would have probably stolen some books from the library. I didn't know that they were going to be trying to hide all this information from us like the way they did. If I would have known then what I know now, I would have so much proof of a lot more things that I talked to you guys about, but they hide it all. I have discovered some amazing things on the internet only to go back and for them to have scrubbed it from certain legal websites and whatever else. Do you know that there are some libraries like Congress and whatever else, some private collections like the Vatican and whatever else, where you can't even see the books? Some of them, you have to sign in, sign out. You have to wear gloves. You get timed with it. They watch you, or you can't even touch the book unless you have the gloves on. So imagine that. Well, they do say that knowledge is power. Jay, I'm so glad to be able to comment, yet at the moment can't think of anything to say. Jerry Dayton. You can just say what you just said, or hey, hello, hi, thank you, appreciate you. Red Wine, peace and love back at you 1,000-fold. Can you do a video on explanatory statement update? I did do a video on explanatory statement. We haven't really done any updates because we've pretty much mastered it. All the information we need for an explanatory statement is now out there. It's all in the same ones. I do have the older version we used to use years back that is like 30 pages. You should get that if you buy the explanatory statement on my website. If not, and you show me that you have a receipt, I'll include it. But I think if you buy the current one, you get the old one in there. So those are the only two that I really have. But remember, to be in all honesty, you can make your own, but you can also use the information that I have. All these codes, all these things, these phrases and whatever else. That's what you need to do, is to make your own. But I do appreciate you guys buying mine to support me. It does help. I've been able to actually make some, I know this is going to sound so ghetto. I shouldn't even probably say it, but whatever. But just to show you guys that I'm a real person, I had my basement leak. I had a water tank basically explode. Two separate things. And with the money that I'm able to make from here, I was able to take care of that. Whereas like a couple of years ago, I would have been just ass out. Like I said, you don't make that much money on YouTube until you get to be like at least about 200,000 subscribers. Then you're probably okay. Depending, once again, on how many people actually watch your videos all the way through, click on things, buy things, stuff like that. So thank you from me and my family. We thank you guys. All right. And all the people that I help take care of as well. And the donations that I do get and donate to other people and places. I've helped people bury their loved ones with some of the money that you guys have given to me. So it's not going anywhere. I'm not, I don't have anything extravagant. I have a nice used new car. That's it. So I'm not doing anything wild. Probably the most things have been repairing the house, and I built a man cave. That's it, which I will on my other YouTube channel. I will give you guys more view of that. I'll be doing some videos from that location. So I'm returning almost everything that you guys give my way, and I try not to ask for too much. So thank you for what you guys do offer me. I was told I wasn't in the system here, and he was ready to take me away. So unconstitutional. Well, if you showed him your passport, book, or card, he can't take you anywhere. And you can always remember, if they're trying to move you from any one place to another place, ask them where their warrant is. They have to have a warrant to physically take you somewhere. Otherwise, they're violating the Constitution. And if they still violate you anyway, you sue them for it. A name correction for your status. I'm working on that right now. I have not mastered it, and I'll tell you why. I don't want to go to the courts and ask the court to change my name. But can you change your name in the court, get your name change document, and then have corrected your status? To a degree, but remember, they still then have your new name on file. So yes, it does help with many things. I think I know where you're going with it. It will help with many things, but it is not the master ninja maneuver, because they still have your new name. The zip code puts you in a filing cabinet in the 10. Yes, that is correct, Charles. Title 15 says a U.S. citizen is a business. Yep, I made a video on that. You are correct. Yeah, that's Chris from A Warrior's Call. Yep, there you go. Yep, you guys are banned. You guys are fire. I love that you guys know this stuff. What's going on, King? If I'm using someone's vehicle, but I'm a non-citizen or American national, do I give them jurisdiction? How do I go about insurance? There's a couple things going on here, but insurance, I made a video on that, so watch that one. The short version is apply for insurance as a foreign driver, and that'll take care of that. Do you give them jurisdiction if you're using somebody else's vehicle? Well, they have their plates on there and it's registered to that person. So that car could be towed depending on what you're doing with it. They don't have jurisdiction over you unless you're operating dangerously. So there you go. Hey, King, it takes one to know one, man. Thank you for supporting. And I'm just going to say this. The people that, like you guys who support me, I know you guys are good people. I'm not saying perfect because I know I'm not perfect, but I know that you guys are out there moving positive in the world. And I love doing these because you guys give me so much hope. Sometimes I get so down, feeling like there's just this huge wall that I am by myself trying to knock down. And I sometimes forget that, like, there are other people that I can't see banging on the same wall and trying to push it over. So thank you guys for reminding me of that. I sometimes get lost in the books and in my thoughts. And you guys help keep me well, man. And that being said, also try to keep up with your own mental health. Take time for yourself. If something is overwhelming or stress, back away from it. Know when to push yourself and know when to, walk away. Know when to fold them. So thank you guys. All right. Oh, if they called you that in writing and you can show it, use that and sue them in federal court. Defamation of character, slander, bullying, threat, making a legal determination without having a license to do so. And that term has no legal standing. There you go. Cracking the code. Yep, I've got that one here too. Somewhere. It's in the dark. I can't see right now. I don't have my wolf vision going right now. But yeah, that's a good one. Yep, I did a video on that one too. Yep, the United States citizen, you guys are seeing this right here, is a United States business. This is why you have to pay taxes. This definition includes corporations. Corporation is Latin, okay? Corp is body, oration is to animate. So you're animating a dead body. Partnerships, associations created, and then here's the key word, or associations created under the U.S. corporation. So if you create it under their stuff, then it's considered to be one of theirs. Yes, Miller, yeah, each employer that you work with has to have a tax exempt WABN given to them. Yes. Yep. They'll try to see. They can ignore the. Okay, I was going to put this in the court case seminar, but I'll give it to you guys right now. The reason why that they can ignore the Constitution is because you haven't properly forced them to adhere to it. If you just walk into court, they have the luxury and the legal ability and the audacity to then regard the court as being not constitutional because you haven't forced them to recognize it. So when dealing with it, all they're hearing is blah, 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 smartest slave we have, something about the Constitution. You haven't enforced it. You haven't invoked it. Stuff like that will be in my court case seminars coming up. You don't have, see, you always have a private side, Andrew. So at any point in time, yes, you can go after them for old back tax returns if you do it properly. I have not personally done it. I have given people information and they have done it and they have gotten some of their money back. Some of them gotten all of it back. All right. But it has to be done carefully. I'm not an expert on that. I'm still learning. I tend to just go, hey, give the baby their bottle. I'm just walking away. I'm cutting my strings. But yes, I do have some people. I don't have people who can teach you. Most people come to me, we do some things, and then they go, and then hit me back. It worked, cool, great, and then never hear from them again. And I do not have a Rolodex of all the people that have done all these things. I just wait to hear back from people. Most of the time, they're just happy to get their money and they run. So, but yes, people have done that because essentially you can say that you were fraudulently coerced into participating and there's no actual law that says you have to. And I'm going to do an IRS seminar where I'm going to go over a lot of informational pieces that you can use that might be helpful for something like this, potentially. Yes, in Belmont versus Town, I just read this the other day too. Taxpayers are not de jure state citizens. Now, what does that really say? You have to, it sounds funky. Let me give it to you from the legal level. Taxpayers mean a U.S. citizen, which is generally supposed to be a for-profit corporation making money off of stocks and bonds, which is why only they are supposed to do returns, are not de jure. De jure means true, of the real state citizens, which are Native Americans and nationals, which are tax exempt. I do not have a bank account outside of a trust account, period. Even a revocable trust, it takes court action to penetrate it. Irrevocable is the best to shut them down completely off the court. Yep, Charles, you're right. Yep, I've been teaching people that for a while now. Gabby says, some of us don't do the dance. All right, if you don't do the dance, make a little love, get down the night. Get down the night. Sorry. Thanks, Wolf, another loyal subscriber here. Hey, Chosen 111, appreciate you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because in the federal court, you're regarded as the living person, not the legal person. I actually was reading through someone's case where they were trying to argue the straw man name, but they lost their case because apparently they didn't watch my videos where I have blown apart how the all caps name on the lower level is a legal person and using grammatical deception. So I could have won his case. Badwolf is a good role model. He's a real dude. I try to be. I do get challenged by everybody, family, friends, my girlfriend, on things. But generally we come to a good consensus. And Quasi, thank you. You are awesome as well. Takes one to know one. So right back at you. Nobody 25. It's been a while. What's going on? You've been hiding. Gabby, yes. Woo. Yo, what's going on, Divine? Yeah. Charles says, keep it going, James. Much respect, love, and oh, yes, God. I give God all the credit. Thank you for the $20. I appreciate you. I sincerely do. I sincerely do. Gabby says, Freemasonry. I know a little bit about that. I know a little bit about the Illuminati. I know a little bit about Templars. I was contacted by the Illuminati like 3 times since having my channel up. I do know one active member and one who has defected. I had him on the show. Dave says, Carter. I'm not sure. Talking about from Mars, Carter. There's lots of sellouts everywhere. How to get rid of mortgage and property taxes. That is way too much for this video for what we're doing right now. But property taxes, I did make a video on that. I will also be making a seminar with the updates to that video as I'm going through it myself. Even though other people have used my information in the private after working with them, a lot of them have been successful. Some of them have not. More yes than no. I am on my 3rd or 4th year battling my state because they're buttholes. But it's forcing me to become better at what I'm doing. So I will make an update video in the seminars on how to do all of it the right way. Mortgage, that means you'll have to try to find mortgage fraud. I will probably be doing a video on mortgage fraud. For those people who want to take the pay way, I will say that if you use his services, he has gone up a little bit. I'm not really thrilled on the price thing, but he does kind of have the market. But if you do go to him, make sure that you mention me, which is Sean Adley at Mortgage Audits Online. Some people have already won their houses clean and free. Some people have actually won a rather substantial amount of money because of the fraud. But he does charge more than my original videos with him. So talk to him about the price. Tell him you came through me. You still get a discount. But he has gone up on price, just to be honest. Okay, there's nothing I can do about that. It's his own business, like anybody else's. Otherwise, if you can find a third party or somebody else who can do a securitized audit on your mortgage, that is another way to do it. You know, I love that I'm on the edge of the city where I'm at, because it's so funny. I'll see everything from, like, I'm watching my video screens right now because I keep my house under 24-hour surveillance, and I have off-site backup to my recordings for obvious reasons. But I'll see everything from a wolf, a possum, and then I put some stuff out. So now we got junk men coming by taking tables. Somebody else came by and took some scrap metal. It's just weird. I love watching this camera because I got a huge field near like a forest area, but we're in the city still. I don't know. It's just crazy. People come out at night. Freaks come out at night. The freaks come out at night. Oh, I better not sing too much of it. On a fair use. Don't want them coming after me. At the end, U.S. consumers are paying tariffs, taxes as they are consumer taxes. Oh, yeah. All that stuff is being passed on to us. Mr. Bass, I haven't seen you in a while either. If it's the same one who supported me for numerous years. Thanks for the knowledge and for Copper's websites as well. Can't learn this from anyone, honestly. There are some people who do a pretty good job. Yeah, Gabby, the cat. But as always, there's Monica. There she is. What's going on, young lady? Appreciate you. I've seen some of the family pictures on your FB. Monica's a wild, awesome, beautiful person. But yeah, there's a lot of people out there who have hidden agendas or want to bring you into their nations or make you subservient or whatever. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. If they're trying to meet up with, especially for the ladies out there, be very careful. There are some hustlers out there who've talked like they know me or talked against me, trying to get in some of the ladies' pants out there. Watch out for that stuff. All right. If somebody, just use discernment. Guys as well, be careful. Ladies as well, be careful. A lot of people are trying to overcharge for things. They're trying to get what they can from you. Because a lot of people want this. This is a hot topic, and it's going to spread like fire as if it hasn't already, but across the United States, and it's going across the world. I'm getting people in Australia contacting me and all kind of things. So just be careful. Do not always do your research. Try to find it somewhere else cheaper before trusting a lot of people. If you look at the price and you're like, I don't know if that's probably a scam. Okay. Because I'll tell you this, as I've said since day one, all of this information, even the stuff I sell, can be found out there somewhere for free. This is one of the reasons why the gurus and these other channel people and these haters, that's why they don't like me. Like, even with the trusts that I sell mine cheaper than most people. I sell it to you in Word format. So then once you buy it once from me, you can make 1,000. You can sell trust to other people. They don't like that. Oh, why would you do that? You could make so much more money off of people. I enjoy making enough to survive. And I'm doing that. And because of your help, I'm starting to thrive for the first time in my entire life. It is nice. I'm not going to be wealthy for a long time. I could charge a whole lot more for stuff, but I'm okay. That's where I'm at. I have no delusions of being a multi-millionaire unless my XRP goes up to about $100. Then everything on my YouTube channel is going to be free. Just, I'm in the money. I'm in the money. Till then, I got a nickel and dime basically like everybody else. Jake says you should probably try and teach them actual law instead of misinterpretation of the law. Ooh, look at Jake. I'm sorry, Jake. What degree do you have? It's cute. See, this Jake is the reason right here why I keep the comment section closed on most things. Because Jake here is a troll, and he probably has his own weak, garbage, trash YouTube channel. See, here's the thing, Jake. Let me educate your uneducated butt, okay? The law is the Constitution. Can you read? Can you read, Jake? Can you read? If you read the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and the Declaration of Independence, it tells you what you can do, Jake. And if you continue to read the information, and I'm already giving you more than your 2 seconds of fame, so revel in it for a while. It says that the law is subject to interpretation. And if you can argue the law to the judge better than the prosecution, your interpretation then becomes truth and is valid. Jake, have you won any court cases? I have. Jake, have you ever had a judge ask you to join them? Bet you haven't. This is the problem with clowns all day. That's the problem. Moving on. Sweet. Can't believe I caught it live. It's been a while. Yes, it's been a while since I've been on. Hello, Crystal. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Like I said, I'm not afraid of entertaining haters and, people who, want to throw their own monkey feces around like Jake. I'll deal with it a little bit. It comes with the territory. You have to have some thick skin. I'm still going to sleep fine. I'm still going to go and cash my check at the bank. I'm still going to support and donate people. Jake doesn't bother me. Jake is just somebody who's throwing a rock in the darkness. What does that mean to somebody? Does that mean I'm going to stop? Okay, guys, I'm going to close my channel down. No, Jake, you hurt my feelings. My girlfriend hurts my feelings at times way more than you, Jake, so grow a pair. Why don't you stop being an adult-sized boy? Okay? Become a man. Go to the top like Inspector General. What new books have you purchased? Other than the whole not the whole collection, I almost lied. Other than a good, I think that's half of the Americas Jurisprudence. Well, I'm gonna have to turn on my light. Here we go. All right, don't mind me, I'm in my jogging pants. All right, I bought the full book on the big red book here. It's Constitutional Law. I got the post office manual. I got a treatise on suites in Chancery Court. Here it is. Remember somebody mentioned cracking the code? Where is it? Not the newest one I have, but here you go. Hey, Jakey Poo, Jakey, Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. Yeah, I'm an attorney in fact. Read, and you too can, well, you don't read, so never mind. I guess it's above your pay grade. I got Garner's Dictionary of Legal Usage. Haven't even cracked this one open yet. There's just so much reading. It's like, I got Dictionary of Legal Usage. I got, oh, this is an old one. Shipment on Common Law Pleadings. Also a good mini book. It's something like $8, I think, on Amazon, but Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars. Pretrial motions in criminal prosecutions, the same ones that lawyers, and attorneys buy. Jake? No, nothing. All right, let me leave Jake alone. I'm sure at this time of night, he's probably in his mom's basement and she's probably yelling at him right now. He's probably throwing a fit. So, Dave said, I sent it to Homeland, AG of Canada. Yes, as many places as you can send it out is always going to be a good thing. You have to put them on notice. The more we howl and let the government know that they're supposed to do their job, the more they can get involved. If it hits a, what do they call it, a Mobius point or a crescendo, the more then that they're going to have to overhaul things and say, okay, people have spoken. See, it's only we, the people, until we speak and we make them do their jobs, they're not going to do anything because they think that, see, hear me out. Hey, Monica, hold on, let me see here. So much backlash. Those who don't know will just look at you like you're crazy. Stay strong. Always, always, always. Thank you, lady. I appreciate you. The government is waiting for our letters to tell them what's going on down here in the lower levels, even though they technically know what's going on. I read this in one of the other court cases. Until we bring them into our matter or we make the matter public and obvious, they look at it as we must be content with how we're treated, and it's just good business. So that's why I made the video saying that you need to reach out to all of your Congress people, your senators, your AGs, your FBI, your everything and anything. Because if we don't speak up, nobody will. We are the ones who have to speak up and get them involved. Thank you, Monica. I appreciate you. Stay beautiful. Rebecca, Badwolf. Woo, woo, woo. Thank you. Thank you, guys. All right, we probably got about 30 more minutes. I'm going to skim through here, and then I'm going to call it because I am tired. And I'm going to, put my paws up, so to speak. Appreciate you, Mark. Yeah, when you request a sheriff and you inform them that you're operating constitutionally, they are supposed to protect you from the police. Police are considered public, but they're also for the private jurisdiction known as the U.S. citizen. They're not for everybody. And a sheriff or a marshal is supposed to protect you from them. But a lot of them are just backing up normal codes and regulations that these municipalities have. They're not really supposed to do that unless you're in the wrong. But if I was to argue on behalf of a sheriff, well, your vehicle is registered in their name, you have a driver's license. And so from their perspective, it's really hard that if you're yelling, you're operating under the Constitution when you have everything under the state's municipal jurisdiction. So you can't be completely mad at them. However, if you still request that and tell them you're holding them to their oath of office and that you are operating, or this is unconstitutional, yes, they are supposed to protect you, but some of them have fallen short. Yeah, so far I will agree that we have not seen the money handed back down. We don't know. So we're going to have to see what, I mean, put it this way, we don't have any choice. It's going to be just seeing what they do with that money. If it comes back, if it goes to things, it's going to pay down the debt. I mean, show me something. So I'm with you. I am never on anybody's side but my side and the American people. Okay. Obviously my family as well. And what's best for us. Your videos literally brighten my world. You've helped me connect the dots I've been desiring and trying to connect for years. Heather, Miss Lady, I appreciate you. Hopefully the ladies out there have subscribed, because according to YouTube, I think it's only like 20 or 30% are females. So hopefully, Heather, you have subscribed and other ladies do too. But thank you for supporting me. no matter what. All right. I appreciate you guys. Dave says, love you, bro. Been with you for over 5 years. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've literally spent more time with you guys and you guys with me than a good chunk of my family, you know, especially on my dad's side. A lot of them are a little sketchy. My mom's side is pretty good. Dad's side is way sketchy. I learned a lot of sketchy stuff over there, which I don't take part in, but it did help me to learn how to identify those things. So, yeah, I have no problem putting it out there. I said it. The passport and card, I still have state ID. Should I cancel it? So I'm interested. I can't tell you that you should or shouldn't, in all honesty. I would just say, for now, keep it and just use either one that you see fit. That's what I would say. Even if it's a messed up tool, there might be some times where you need a messed up tool, you know? Leon says, saw it late. Thanks. Still. For show, brother man. Appreciate you. I canceled my state ID just by clipping it. Yeah, well, I don't know. I think the state does that. I haven't had one in years. Everything I do is through my passport or my private homemade ID now for my nation. But I know the passport card, you clip one of the corners and that invalidates it as well. You get paid from it. Okay. Yay, yay. James, you're very much appreciated. All the work you've done. Jerry, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Wolf, reserve verse, enforce rights. Well, okay, so if I understand what you're saying correctly here, and this is just me because I'm getting tired, reserving your rights is informing them that you are not waiving your rights. See, they have a messed up way of doing this, right? So when you're out there, they have the legal ability to assume through implied license that you are in their jurisdiction unless you let them know that you're not, which is why, like on my house, I have my signs that say implied license has been revoked and that I reserve my rights under the Constitution as a state citizen, private national, private citizen. Enforcing them is then standing on specific rights and telling them I'm invoking like 8 USC 1503, denial of rights and privileges as a national. And I will not be denied my rights, whether you're in court. So when you go to court, you can reserve your rights, but putting it on your paperwork, and then you're going to stand on them by enforcing them. All right. Or forcing the agencies like your attorney general, the district attorney, the chief judge of the county, and so on and so forth, the OIG, the commission, and telling them that you guys need to protect and enforce my rights. I'm not getting them in the court, or I'm not getting them at the whatever agency. I watched your, what's going on, Monty? I watched your latest DS11 video a night ago, and I now just have to get a fresh passport photo and then go to PO to expedite. Pretty simple pointing. So, yeah. Appreciate you. Yeah, that's how you do it. Yep, you're on the right path. Can you see on the passport book, passport card, if someone is a national? No, they have hidden it. Okay, in the old, like 14 years ago, it used to straight out say state citizen on there. They didn't hide it in the old days. But for the people who don't understand this, let's say you got your book and you didn't even do your book right. Let's say you didn't follow my method or copper moonshine stills. Well, if you open your book up to the secretary's page and you read it, it'll say something along the lines of the Secretary of State of the United States of America hereby requests all whom it may to permit the citizen / national of the United States named herein to pass, which means also in your car, without delay or hindrance. This is federal law. and the highest law, the supreme law of the land. And in case of need, to give all lawful aid and protection. When you have this, you're declared a national. In the old days, which you can still do, but not on the new books, not on the new books. In the old ones, the secretary's page was paper, and you were supposed to line out the word citizen and leave or circle the word national of the United States. And that's all you had to do to become a national. This is their dirty little secret. On the new books, I'm sure for our safety and protection, the secretary page book is now laminated. So you can't really sign it out. But that's okay. Because according to Foreign Affairs Manual 8 FAM, section 505.2, you are supposed to, oh, and by the way, if you guys haven't seen that on my passport video, they now give you the exact, they watch my video, so hi, Department of State. They give you the exact format and what it's supposed to look like for you to make a declaration in your passport book on the passport endorsement page, all capital letters, the statement with the 09 code. Go America. They've been watching my videos and they updated that form. We made that happen. We are supposed to copy that whole block and that whole section word for word and put it on the endorsement page, but you can only have 2 endorsements on that endorsement page. So there you have it. Well, if they won't pay their bills and it's legitimate, you're really supposed to, by law, get a default judgment. And then if they still don't pay, then you can put a lien on them. Then you can sell the bill to a bill collector, or you can talk to me, and there's some other things you can do in the private. Julian, member for 5 months. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate all the donations, guys. I appreciate all of it. Got about 15 more minutes, and then I'm going to call it a night. Is a taxpayer the straw man? Depending on how legal you want to go with that, Alpha and Omega, I like your symbol there. With this symbol, I conquer. The straw man can legally be looked at as the taxpayer. Legally, there's no such thing as a straw man. It's just a term that refers to actually the taxpayer and a legal person, which is your name in all capitalized letters. Okay, so I'm going to say yes, the taxpayer is what we call the straw man. Straw man is what we call a taxpayer. Straw man just means a legal person. Okay, that's all it really means. Could you show your library, please? I want books. Oh my God, are you talking about like all of them? All of them? You know what? For you, I will make a video. Video library. I don't know if people really are going to watch that. I don't know. I've never really thought about that, but I will make a video within the next week or two, and I will let you guys see every book that I have. I don't have all of them here, but a majority of them. But yeah, I'll do a video. I don't know if it's going to be a big winner, but for you, I will make a video of all of my books so you guys can see them. they cover all different areas, so they're not just all one thing. All right. So if you guys want to see that video, just let me know if you think that's a good idea. If you guys want to see all the books that I have in this room, I do have some other stuff not in this room, but yeah, I can show you that. I'm not going to name them, but I'll just pan the camera and name off some of them, but I'll let you see because there's a whole lot, and I'm not going to read off every single book. That would be like a long time, and I am not that patient. I'm completely done with my UC filing, but now I am stuck. I haven't figured out what my next step is. If you want to be done, you're done. You don't have to do anything else. Some people will send off a security statement with their UCC to the Department of State. I mean, there's lots of things you can or could do. I would just say go back and watch some of my videos of the top 100 on my YouTube channel. If you scroll down all the way to the bottom and you click more, it'll open up the rest of the videos because YouTube thinks they're slick. They only show you my top 100. I've got 1,100 videos. So, but you can also go to my main page, drop down to the playlist bar, scroll all the way to the right, and either click playlists so you can see what I have grouped together, or use the open search bar on the playlist bar to the far right. They kind of hide that too. And then type in what you're looking for, and it'll bring up all the videos in the results of whatever you're looking for. Okay? But you can do as much or as little as you want. There's not like I don't do like a lot of people do where it's A through Z. You have to do all these steps, all these processes. Merely look for a place in your life where you want something to improve. That's how I got here. I didn't want to pay house taxes, so I started working on that. I wanted to try to pay off my house, started working on that. Wanted my cars to be private, started doing that. Didn't know anything about trusts, bought some books on trusts. So just figure out where you want to work on, and then start working on that. What is the complete title and author of the police misconduct book? All right, so it's called NLG, which probably is what, National Lawyers? Yeah, National Lawyers Guild. Sorry. National Lawyers Guild, Police Misconduct, Law and Litigation. This one came from Thrift Books. Police Misconduct by Clark Boardman. Clark Boardman, Boardman. I know Thomas and Reuters will probably have a version, but it's going to be probably expensive. I don't know if these people are still here, but the people who used to have this book before me was the law offices of Theodore Galen in Illinois. And then apparently they sold it, which means they have a better updated version of it. And made some money on the old one. Can you discharge a water bill in a deceased person's name? Yes, that can be done. Thank you for all the great information you shared. Absolutely golden information. Eric, appreciate you. James, you repost the video. All of my lives are always up. I never take down any of my lives. They're always up on my YouTube channel in the live playlist. They're all there. I cover, as you guys know, lots of stuff. So it is really good to, check those out. All right. Well, guys, we are at the bottom of the hour, and I am tired. I'm done. I am spent. I'm spent, baby. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to get some rest. I may or may not do one next week, Monday or Sunday. I don't know. What's going on, John? Another longtime fellow friend and subscriber. Appreciate you. Shot goes out to the Hellbent one. Appreciate the donation. Ankh says the Badwolf. Appreciate you. Thank you, guys. Hebrewist says no Constitution, no Bill of Rights, no American U.S. in the U.S. courtrooms. Correct. Or we'll say the lower level courtrooms, and I'll tell you why. Is because those courts are called Nisi Prius. That's something they really don't want you guys to know. And that will be in my courtroom seminars. So be looking for that on Black Site 32 coming up in the next 2 months. It's going to be a banger, right? I'm literally going to try to teach you guys how to be like me. That's why these seminars are going to be very, very powerful. I'm just trying to make sure I have everything right, the format, the paid hosting. everything. I want to make sure that it's priced right. For those other ones will be free. I'm also going to be working on some conferences. I'm going to get some other people who specialize in different areas of life, health, whatever, to work with me to be in those conferences. So I'm going to have seminars. I'm going to have some free versions, paid versions, and then I'm going to do conferences where it'll be, I don't know, whatever price, reasonable, of course. And then you guys will get to listen to people who make trusts, people who sell products, a lot of different things. It'll be good. That's why I've been like tired and stressed trying to make sure that I have it right. So, okay, I see some of you guys talking back and forth in here. NMD says, where is your Telegram channel? So I had two groups, and the one started getting bombarded with a lot of spam and people like Jake, you know, who eat Fruit Loops out of their belly button in their mama's basement. So we decided that we're just going to close that one down. So there is still one on there under Badwolf Unincorporated. So you can still join that one. All right. We may open up a new one, more so general, but I want to try to keep it so that we don't have, just a lot of people hating and trying to, disrupt things. Some people, don't forget, guys, if you guys didn't know this, let me give you some more information. There are certain factions of people out there that are pushing these agendas, and you guys have seen these agendas. All right. They are paid. A majority of them are paid. Why do you think they have such a following or a group? Is because they're paid. They pay a lot of these people to show up at these rallies or to basically cause controversy, distrust, chaos amongst we Americans and nationals. Some of them directly against us, and some have other chaotic agendas. Just so you know, I didn't think of that until I got proof of it and then seen it. Matter of fact, at one point in time, they were placing ads in the paper for people to pay. I think they were giving people like $10, $15 to just go to these places or to go on people like my YouTube channel and talk trash. And if they can show proof, they got paid. That's insane. That is not the American way, which is why it's part of these elite cabal groups, municipalities, and whatever else. So, do you believe in werewolves? Ooh, that is definitely a Badwolf Unincorporated channel on YouTube question. But I'll say this. I was reached out to by somebody who owns a farm, and they said they have definitely seen some. It depends on what your definition of werewolf is, but we'll just say they've seen some larger wolves than normal, like the dire wolf that science just genetically created-ish. Sasquatch all fall harder than you'd think. They make a noise just like a bear. I have heard a lot of things like that from people. Like I said, this channel is not so much where I'm gonna put this stuff on there, but the Badwolf Unlimited YouTube channel is where we're going to talk about stuff like that. We don't have to be right, we don't have to be wrong, but we're going to talk about it. We're going to get into it. But I'll tell you this, like I said, being part Native American, if you guys didn't know, I'm part Apache and Creole and Cherokee. The Native Americans, this is their way of life. They talk about the Space Brothers and all these other things. It's only modern academia and the GOV that want to keep that information for now out of our heads and hands. But they are grooming us to be okay with these things because the truth is going to come out and they can't hide it forever. They know that. There's an agenda already in place. They have to reveal it. They know they're on a timetable. Angela, thank you for the $10. I appreciate you, Miss Lady. Once again, be blessed. I appreciate you guys. So I'm going to shut it down. Emperor Bay. Love you too, brother. Thank you so much for being who you are and supporting. Ariel, thanks, man. All right, all right. Jim and Japan, Badwolf Unincorporated. Thank you. This is Jay from Texas and Maryland. I got my passport using the template on your site last November. National route. It works, people. Just follow the instructions. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I learned a lot of this from Copper Moonshine Stills. Colonel Von Wilson is a great guy, and he got me started. So I give him kudos. Love King just became a new member. Shot goes out to King Malik Senior, which means there's a junior, and I know you're doing it right. So appreciate you. King, as you fix my crown, I fix yours. So appreciate you, God. Mad love, brother. Mad love. All right. Couple last ones. What about an injunction? Yes, I've had many people file injunctions, and yeah, the cops will leave you alone. They don't come anywhere near you. They don't want none of that. They don't want none of that smoke. Badwolf Unincorporated. If you apply for a credit card and you select U.S. citizen as your country of residence, does that negate your status as national? No, not at all. See, you have the ability to operate in any section of your life, in any one event, each different event, who you want to be. It is like putting on two different hats. Credit card, U.S. citizen, bank account, national. Taxes, national. Right to travel, private citizen. I just subscribed and caught a live. It's a good time to be alive. Mystery. Appreciate you. Thank you. The Lord works in mysterious ways. There are still so many questions. I'm sorry, guys. I'm running down to the last couple here. Right to travel, power and inherent people, $10. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please support each other, guys. We also have another new member on YouTube. Thank you, guys. Like I said, I just want to get the channel to 100,000. And then after that, like I said, I've completed my goal in here. I'm still going to do things, so don't trip, don't freak out. And once again, the button will be right there. I already have a spot for it, and I'm going to dedicate it to you guys. So thank you. All right, NMD. Badwolf, why? 90% of the people are not aware of the difference in the public and private side, lawful, legal, trap. The reason why is because nobody teaches it. There's no school, there's no official school that teaches you about your private rights or your side. There are some places that teach constitutional law, but they don't teach you about your private side. Constitutional law is a part of it, but no one teaches it. There are no schools, which is one of the reasons why I've dedicated my life to learning this from wealthy people, teaching me some of this stuff, and poor people. And I'm helping to educate you guys so that you guys can pass the torch out to other people. Leon Butler, oh wow, you just saying it, left my ass out. All right, is this live, pre-recorded? No, this is live. This is happening right now. R100, this is real life. I'm still on it. I see you, brother. I see you out there. I see you moving. What's going on, Leon? Rights are inalienable. Yes. Marcos says Jake is a sheep. Yeah, he's definitely a sheep. But see, that's the thing. He has that right. Just it ain't gonna happen in my house. He can be a sheep all he wants to. Some countries, sheep are used for various things. Some for wool, some for entertainment, some for pleasure, like Jake. So there's, he's entitled to be that. Mr. Wolf, what's going on? R2RO. All right. I'm going to wish each and every one of you guys a blessed night, a happy, positive, blessed, live long and prosper summer. Thank you for supporting me. It means more than you guys know and more than I can acknowledge or even convey. I will continue to make the shows. I will continue to bring you guys this information. Stay safe. Question everybody and everything. Vet your information. Never believe the narrative. You can only know, including me, so much. And there are people in places who have hidden agendas behind things, and they want to use our power. You ever notice how Congress people, whoever else, really never address the American people or whatever else until they need us to vote? It's because we have more power than we know. And they only want to harness that power when they need us to promote their agendas. So each one of you guys, do your best out there. Take care of yourselves and each other. Give yourself and other people some grace. Because here's the thing. None of us have ever been in this moment before. None of us have ever been this age or this person before. Well, unless you have or believe in reincarnated lives. And I do. But nonetheless, this particular experience right now is one time, and we're not going to get it all perfect. So have a little grace for yourself and other people. But at the same time, do not let anybody take advantage of you. Learn your lesson. If they don't get right, put them to the left. With that being said, guys, have a great night. Thanks for entertaining the wolf. Thank you for giving me an outlet. And I wish you guys all positive blessings, health, light, and love. And I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Badwolf is out.